We have 2 more Devos in this series on the 24 hours, and today's Devo is called Awake in the Dark. So we're moving on now to the New Testament, and there's another familiar story there of Jesus' fast in the wilderness for 40 days and 40 nights. And again, the nights are mentioned, not just 40 days. I mean, who even eats in the nighttime, and why is that mentioned? Why didn't it just say he fasted 40 days? If you've ever been a part of a fast, I'm thinking the sign-up sheet never says, will you fast for 21 days and nights? Nights aren't even mentioned at all because at night we sleep. So there's no reason given for the mention of the fast, including the nighttime in this story. I mentioned earlier in another Devo that a friend of mine has this special affinity for the lonely at night. And her imagination takes her to the place of those who are wandering around in the night hours in their mind or actually physically. She talks about how she can visualize her friend's desperation and their heartache. For example, a factory worker in the graveyard shift with a terribly packed lunch, worrying about his failing marriage and a longing for a change. Or a nurse getting off late at night as she swings through Taco Bell, hating herself for choosing unhealthy food, but the food tastes so good because of the pain in her heart over a wayward child. She might even consider this friend that prays those with cancer with a terminal diagnosis unable to sleep because of pain and uncertainty, or the inconvenience of a night worker who's at a store all night accepting money, handing out cigarettes and lottery tickets and so on, working at minimum wage. She further imagines a young pastor and his wife struggling to make ends meet and feeling overwhelmed at all the many facets of ministry, staying up late on Saturday nights preparing for Sunday. And finally, what about a weary caregiver who's sitting with a patient with dementia, exhausted in a mind and body unable to sleep because of all of the emotions and the unbalance and the to-do list that's undone? Nighttime fears and anxieties and challenges are way worse than the daytime, it seems. Thank goodness that someone is fasting for those awake in the dark. Maybe the Bible mentions the nights too because a lot of people need Jesus in their darkness, maybe for the first time or the 1,000th time. Remember how Paul said that he has a thorn in the flesh, or he had a thorn in the flesh that wouldn't leave him? I've had a few of those, and I recently have felt that God assured me that he loves me in my brokenness, in my nighttime worries and fears, and that he's always near. Not just in the day, but in the loneliness of night, and not when I'm feeling successful and accomplished only, but when I feel vulnerable and unseen in all of my midnight needs, as this friend calls them. And this same friend ended her post, like I said last time, that nighttime is still his time. So maybe we're starting to see that the word mentions both day and night coupled together, sunrise to sunrise, sunrise to sunset, and the darkness in between, that all of it belongs to him, in the belly of a fish, in the boat that's rocking through the storms at night, and when we're in need of direction and deliverance. To tell us that he's awake, he's alive, he's seeing, and he's caring, and Jesus knew all of that. So he fasted in the day and the night for those that need him in the light of the day and those that are desperate for him in the dark of the night. That brings so much comfort, that visualization that Jesus was fasting in the night for those that are experiencing long nights. It was right after those long days and nights of fasting that Jesus was then tempted and turned away from every threat from the enemy. And he did that for us. He set forth a pattern of the sun and the moon, observing the good, calling it a day, and rousing to win whatever battle or lie confronts us the next morning. It will happen over and over again, this cycle of day and night, but both belong to him, and both are lit by his presence, his power, and his eyes that burn like fire to keep our feet secure, our hearts full, and our faith firm. Are you one that's awake in the dark? So is he. No fear, no worries, and he'll be there when the sun rises as well. And it will.